So you want to level a Zealot, but don't know which talents to take early on, or what talents exactly synergize well with each other while leveling up? Well, don't worry, because today I have you covered. I'll be giving you a rundown on what talents I would take if I could go back, and what I wouldn't take. I will not be covering what weapons to use, as I strongly believe that while leveling up, you should be trying all the weapons so that you get familiar using them for endgame builds, and also help you find what you like and dislike. I'm also adding timestamps, so jump to wherever you may need. As always, subscribe and drop a like to help support the channel, as I'll be making more content that will help you guys directly. I recommend playing at a tier 1 through tier 3 for efficiency, as you'll grind out experience faster and smoother. Even if you have leveled up other classes, each class plays differently, and having the proper gear will make a difference in your playstyle and help you achieve more successful runs. If you don't know what I mean by tiers, they're simply just level difficulty, tier 1 being sedition and so forth. At level 5, we're going to take Purifying Blood. This talent will help you generate 50% more toughness per melee kill. The reason why I recommend this over Faith Restored and Enemies Within, Enemies Without is due to the difficulty we will be playing at. In these difficulties, enemies you will face will have less health than T4, T5, which means you'll mow right through enemies and generate more toughness compared to the latter, which is toughness damage reduction. Although Faith Restored is a good talent for crit builds, you aren't really going to have a weapon with crit at the moment, or a higher crit chance due to changing weapons, because like I said, you should be trying out new weapons. Enemies Within, Enemies Without is a really good talent for endgame / T4, T5 difficulty because of the sheer health of enemies, meaning that they won't melt as fast, and that means you will have enemies present for you to be able to generate toughness by being 5 meters of at least 3 enemies. That all said, just take Purifying Blood for now. For level 10, Retribution is king. Due to being weapon friendly, you can benefit from this talent regardless as to which weapon you are currently using. A 10% attack speed really does help, and it stacks for your passive, Swift Exorcism, that already gives you a flat 10% melee attack speed already. You don't have to purposely drop down to 20% health to get a double bonus attack speed from Retribution, but if you do find Grimoires or just find yourself low health most of the time, you'll definitely be near that 20% anyways, and at tier 1 and tier 3, medic stations will have most of the charges, allowing you to recharge your health if you feel the need to anyways. Bloodletting is great if you pair it with level 5's talent Faith Restored, but once again, due to changing weapons, it is not optimal this early on. I would also not recommend Punishment due to it being such a clunky talent, needing you to strike 3 or more enemies to gain 30% impact, even if it stacks 5 times. You'll find that enemies are dying too fast for you to generate enough stacks, and or needing to impact them anyways in the first place. Benediction is the only talent you should be taking as of right now early on in late game. The 15% toughness damage reduction benefits you and your team a lot more than the other 2 talents. Holy Fever on paper sounds decent, but due to the way Martyrdom works, it's really just clunky and has a small uptime that might not even make a big difference to your team really, unless you drastically drop a huge chunk of health in a short time and then somehow manage to recover that health to lose it again and repeat that cycle. It just doesn't make sense at the moment. Inspiring Excoriation is very mid-tier due to having only 1 charge of Chastise the Wicked early on, and even in late game, it's still not any better. I can see how it might be decent if you build it correctly, but at the same time, it's just a hassle to use correctly. Therefore, I always just take Benediction, as it's the easiest and the most beneficial at all levels. Faith Restored Zealot is more of a niche talent. I used to run this talent due to it being good in certain situations, but it's just too weak to be compared to the other 2 talents at this level. Only generating your health based on how much damage you took, meaning if you took 100% damage to your health in 1 hit, you only regenerate 25% of that damage back into your health, which isn't bad, but not good either. The last 2 talents are a tough decision because they're both decently good for different purposes, but even with that said, I think early on, you have to go with Holy Revenant over Die Wrath Be Swift, due to survivability, and the chance of not dying right after your Until Death proc. This talent doesn't make you impossible to kill though, because you'll need to do damage in order to generate health. So once you see Until Death proc, you'll need to go on the offensive and deal damage to get health back. Now in this tier, I actually like Honor the Martyr for endgame builds due to enemies hitting harder, meaning you'll be at lower health more often. But at early and even late game builds, Rising Conviction is a safer choice, allowing you to take benefit regardless of your health levels, which does make it friendlier. Emperor's Execution is just straight up wonky and doesn't synergize well with any talent really, so I wouldn't recommend it at the moment as well. Well, for your last talent, you got 2 options in terms of builds, but for new and starting Zealots who are wanting to get comfortable with using their ultimates, I recommend taking Purge the Wicked due to allowing more survivability and movement. Overall, it is friendly with all builds, not a situation and build base compared to Invocation of Death, which is usually seen in crit related builds. Fury of the Faithful is mid-tier at the moment, as the benefits only kick in when you use your ultimate for 5 seconds, which isn't a long time and not very often. Well, your build should look a little like this by level 30. Of course, don't be scared to switch things up a bit here and there, so you get to try out talents and formulate your own builds. If you have your own build already and you want me to try it, drop it down in the comments, and maybe I'll make a reaction video trying them out. If you liked the video, let me know, and if not, I'm always open to feedback, and as always, I'll catch you guys in the next video.